Hello there everyone, welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. My name is Ariel and today we're going to be talking about the astrology forecast for April 2022. We're going to look at some of the key transits and planetary movements and just give you an overall view of what we will be looking at, feeling, and dealing with through this month of April. There's quite a lot of energy here. I always print a chart to look at the very beginning of the month, and then I use my pocket astrology calendar to mark down some of the notable transits. I am not paid by Llewellyn, but this is a great little pocket astrology planner. Each day you will get the basic transits and movements that are coming up each day, and it does have, I think, 2 or 3 years worth of ephemeris tables in the back, which are very helpful, especially when you're doing any kind of forecasting work. So guys, thank you so much as always for joining in and checking out the channel. If you haven't yet done so, please do like, hit, and subscribe. Share this with anyone you think might be interested in it. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk about April. April is always an energetic month. It starts out with the sun in Aries, of course. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it brings a lot of new beginning energy, initiations, enthusiasm, vitality, spontaneity, fire. It is ruled by Mars. It's a cardinal sign, so it's a leadership energy, and it definitely gets us moving, shaking, and wanting to get things done. It's almost impossible to ignore the pure energy, power, and irrepressible fire dynamic of Aries. So we are certainly in the full energy of spring. We are moving through that as we start our month. The new moon in Aries starts us out on Friday the 1st. So immediately into the beginning of April, we start out with that powerful new moon. This is another month, and we've had quite a few of these lately, where we've had 2 new moons within the same month. I don't know what the name for that might be. I know when you have 2 full moons in a month, that is called a blue moon, but I'm not sure what they would call it with a new moon, because we've had that experience quite a bit. So Friday the 1st, new moon in Aries, and then the very last day, we get the new moon in Taurus. So we're bookended by new moons, which makes me feel like the month of April will be a month of a lot of new beginnings, a lot of ambitions, old plans that you've had for a while or things that you've wanted to do finally coming out of the shadows, finally coming out of, being on the back burner and getting going again. It's actually a very positive energy. You can see how much pile up we have. Our planets have been very, very in strong conjunctions for a little bit here, and this month is no exception. We're coming in at the beginning of the month with the sun, Mercury, and the moon all in the sign of Aries. So it definitely is an energy of new beginnings, fiery new drives, ambitions, things that we want to get done. We have some Pisces energy from Neptune and Jupiter. We also have a lot of Aquarius as we start the month with Saturn, Mars, and Venus all conjunct in the sign of Aquarius. So there are a lot of ideas being, battered around, when it comes to love, when it comes to movement. There is a lot of hurry up and wait energy because we do have Saturn again sitting right next to Mars. Mars is the ruler of Aries. Saturn puts on the brakes. It's the ruler of Capricorn. So guys, we're going to be feeling this. We have been feeling this. Everybody wants to go fast, but we can't go fast. We have to keep going slowly, steadily, and we're getting taught a lot of lessons in patience. And that has a lot to do with our love dynamics because Venus is in the mix of this as well. So, people that want to rush things ahead in a relationship or go to the next level very quickly in a relationship, many times are going to be stalled out. And it's usually for a good reason. Saturn, Capricorn energy always has good reasons. It's usually trying to make sure that a relationship can stand the test of time, because if it can't, It is not going to come together. Saturn makes sure that you really want it. Do you have the patience? Do you have the stability? Do you have the endurance to really make something work? Can you keep your temper when you're angry? There we have Saturn next to Mars, of course, right? Can you be calm in the face of adversity? That is a big question about love and relationships. It has been for the last 2 months, and I really feel like in some ways that kind of comes all to a head this month in April, because we are going to move out of, Venus will move on into Pisces, Mars will move to Pisces as well. That energy of it being in that strong conjunction to Saturn will start to soften after the middle of the month, and we won't feel that quite as strongly. But this is a real couple of weeks, the first half of April. We're really going to continue to feel those testings, and I feel like a lot of those things will come to completion. The next thing we're going to talk about, because we just talked about Venus, Venus goes into Pisces on Tuesday the 5th. That is an excellent place, the best place considered for Venus to be. Pisces is its exaltation, and it will be there until May 2nd. Venus in Pisces, the reason it's considered its exaltation and the best place for that planet is because Pisces, Venus, creates a compassionate, unconditional kind of love. It's like no matter how much it's been hurt, no matter how much it's been disappointed or let down, it still has the ability to hope and believe and have faith in love and in people, and in itself, right? So it's a very creative placement as well. I would say during the time of Venus in Pisces, make sure to include music and the arts in your life. It is a beautiful time for that. If you are creative, artistic, musical, etc., you will always really flourish during those weeks that Venus is in the sign of Pisces. It's very musical, very magical. Of course, during that time, it will also sweep across Neptune, because Neptune and Jupiter are already in Pisces. This is going to bring up super amazing, imaginative, and creative energies for all my creative or spiritual folks out there. The messages and the manifestations that you'll be able to achieve are going to be phenomenal. Saturday the 10th, Mercury comes out of Aries, which I actually am very happy about, because Mercury in Aries is very, very tense, okay? It can be very hot-headed, it can be tempestuous, speaks before it thinks, and maybe regrets it later, like, oh gosh, I shouldn't have said that. So Mercury going into Taurus is much more stable, but it is also more stubborn. I will warn you of that. Mercury will only be in Taurus from April 10th until the 30th, so it's only about 20 days or so. But during that time, people will be very stubborn about their thoughts, their ideas. They want to be right. They want to, have their ideas come to fruition and manifestation, and they're not always willing to budge on their ideas. Thursday the 14th, Mars, our planet that rules Aries, our planet that rules aggression and drive, goes into super soft, gentle Pisces until May 25th. So this is when Mars takes a little nap. The other time Mars takes a nap is whenever it goes into retrograde, which only happens every 2 years or so. But Mars in Pisces is very gentle. It can be also very confused. It can be a little passive aggressive, right? Because Pisces really doesn't like to fight. It's also the same when Mars is in Libra. Libra also really doesn't like to fight. It likes to try to find diplomatic solutions to problems. And so I would say during Mars in Pisces, if you are not willing to be gentle, emotional, and intuitive in the way that you go forward, you will not be able to go forward, because people simply will not respond to it. If you try to be really harsh and really aggressive and mean and rough, that Pisces fish will swim right out of the way. So we'll definitely feel that, because it is going to be with us for about 6 weeks, and we will feel that Mars and Pisces energy. The other thing that I would also bring up this month, and I actually made a couple notes about it, because we are dealing with so much, I would say, power struggles and power maneuvers in the world at large, worldwide. We're certainly feeling and seeing that. And I think that these are going to be very fiery, very feisty. And I think the worst days of this month, actually, to either have communication, conversation, and especially arguments, are going to be April 8th, 9th, and 10th. Those are going to be the harshest energies of the month. lot of power struggles, potential, you know, like manipulations and power moves in communication. It wouldn't surprise me at all if like things in Russia and the Ukraine start to heat up really big during those days. The sun will be square Pluto on April 8th through 19th. The sun is of course going to be in Aries. Pluto is still in Capricorn, and that brings us that square, that hard square, that 90-degree angle that really pushes the power struggles. You know, the sun is very much the consciousness, our ego drives, things that we really want to see accomplished, you know, in the world at large. It can also be that masculine divine force. It's the life force, life energy. And Pluto, of course, is Scorpio energy. It can be very destructive and also very regenerative at the same time. But many times you will feel cycles and situations come to a head and go through that destructive cycle before that phoenix can rise from the ashes. Mercury will also be squaring Pluto from April 6th to 10th. And that is why I would say that the harshest energy I see is April 8th through 10th, because that will be those days where we have that Sun and Mercury both squaring Pluto, and there will be clashes of will. There will be a lot of power plays going on. There could be jealousies. Secrets may arise. You know, we might be finding things out that kind of shock us a little bit. But those are the energies that, you know, if you're in a relationship or anything like that, or, you know, having tension in the workplace, you know, those are the days that you may feel it really come out or come to a head or come to a completion. And like I said, if you really don't want to get into, you know, a harsh argument or disagreement, I would try to have those intense conversations on another day, because they will be a little less explosive if you wait. Saturday the 16th, we have the full moon coming to us in the sign of Libra. I would say that this is a little bit of respite after all that intensity of these Pluto squares that we'll be having going on in the first half of the month, because that full moon in Libra is all about diplomacy. It's all about finding, you know, solutions that are fair, equal, balanced, and bring harmony to both parties. And so I think that, you know, we might see some big blow-ups. We might see some big, you know, power plays before that. But then, you know, on the heels of that full moon in Libra, it'll be like, all right, let's calm down, guys. Let's try to find, you know, common ground. This is, of course, the full moon, you know, always balances the sun, the ego energies, with the subconscious energies. Really deep down, everybody wants to see harmony. Everyone wants to see fairness restored, wrongs be righted, and that's Libra. Libra always seeks the peaceful way. But if it can't seek a peaceful way, it's not adverse to fighting. You know, Libra's will. It's, you know, to me, the symbol of justice. She holds the, you know, the scales of justice in one hand, but the sword in the other. She is really that Queen of Swords, Libra energy. But fighting is rather their last resort. It's not where they want to go immediately. Tuesday the 19th, Sun in Taurus. We do have the Sun shifting out of Aries into Taurus. Late in the evening for if you're on the East Coast, that'll be 10:24 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're on the Pacific Coast, you'll be waking up the next day on Wednesday the 20th with the Sun in Taurus. That triggers Taurus season, which is really a nice earthy energy. We'll definitely need it and want it after we've gone full swing in Aries, because after the Aries energy, which can be very, very fiery, you know, a lot of action, a lot of movement, we might be a bit tired. And the Sun moving into Taurus, a Venus-ruled sign versus a Mars-ruled sign, gives us a chance to relax a little bit and enjoy and settle down. Friday the 29th, guys, at the very end of this month, the return of retrograde season is coming back to us slowly but surely. It starts out with our slowest moving planet, Pluto. Pluto is going to be our first major retrograde planet of the year. It goes retrograde in the sign of Capricorn at 2:38 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be there until October 8th this year. So it's a nice, long, relaxing break for Pluto and Scorpio. Scorpios, you will be feeling a little bit of a hibernation cycle coming upon you. It doesn't mean that you can't still get things done, but you will be more introspective and more reflective about that. On the universal level, Pluto in retrograde definitely makes us turn inward about our power drives. What is it that we really want to transform? What is it that we really want to, slowly but surely break free of and rise like the phoenix from the ashes, right? That's what Pluto's all about. Destruction, but then also rebirth. Those cycles of life, death, sexuality, rebirth, and new life coming back around again and again. It's Pluto energy. Saturday the 30th, yes, new moon in Taurus. We talked about that earlier. And we do have a solar eclipse, so it's not only the return of retrograde season, it is also the return of our eclipse season. That will be the solar eclipse with that new moon at 10 degrees of Taurus. When the new moons come around, guys, I always feel like it's bringing new energy into our life. And solar eclipses are all about welcoming new energies, new beginnings. And so I feel like with the energy of Taurus, this to me is new beginnings in prosperity, abundance, and manifestation. Taurus is the earth element, it's the first earth sign. It's all about, literally or metaphorically getting out into the garden, planting those seeds, cultivating them, watching them grow, seeing them flourish, enjoying, the prosperity, enjoying the abundance. King of Pentacles energy, right? It's all about not just putting in the work and effort, but then also that Venus energy, getting to actually enjoy what you worked for. Very nice energy, guys. I would watch out for these squares. That's my main note on the month of April. But overall, I feel like there's a lot of dynamic power coming our way. And it's definitely a good time to tune into divine, universal, and unconditional love as we have Venus, Pisces, Mars and Pisces that are going to be joining up with Neptune and Jupiter this month. This is going to be, either you're going to have full unconditional love or you're not really going to want it. It's going to have to feel beautiful, fairy tale-like, divinely inspired and guided, or you'll probably just swim on down the river till you find what is. All right, everyone, I will be seeing you soon. I'm going to be posting all of the individual readings for all of our 12 zodiac signs for your forecast for April 2022, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Take care.